Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play.
We shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out. And I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places. But because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
What happens when you plan the perfect spotlight and no one shows up to see it? Angel Reese stormed into Indianapolis like a queen claiming her crown, billboards blazing, cameras rolling, and a signature shoe locked and loaded. But within hours, the lights dimmed, the crowd thinned, and reality hit hard. Because the one person who wasn't there? Caitlin Clark. And without her, everything, the hype, the rollout, the ratings, completely collapsed. On paper, it was supposed to be Angel Reese's moment. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend landed right in Caitlin Clark's backyard, Indianapolis, and Reese came ready to make it her city. Reebok plastered her face on billboards across downtown. Her new shoe, the Angel Reese one, was set to drop. Her social feeds boomed with one bold phrase: "I'm in your city."
Here, everyone with credit card debt is lining up to get the Angel Reese signature shoe. Here, it gives you the power of the me-bound. Bang! Again! Burn! Will she save it?
This wasn't just marketing. It was a challenge, a declaration, a takeover attempt. She wasn't just trying to shine. She was trying to claim the spotlight. Reese had the stage, the media coverage, and the storyline. In her mind, this was the moment she'd finally step out of Caitlin Clark's massive shadow and rewrite the narrative. But a perfectly built spotlight means nothing if the power gets cut. And that's exactly what happened, because the one thing Angel Reese was counting on suddenly vanished. Just days before the All-Star Weekend tipped off, Caitlin Clark was ruled out with a groin injury. No warm-ups, no pre-game buzz, no jaw-dropping logo threes.
Angel, me-bound, prayer, Reese. You're only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your billboard Reebok ad.
Just street clothes and a spot on the bench. And with that one medical update, the air leaked out of the WNBA's biggest event of the year, like a pop balloon. What followed was a crash that nobody could spin. TV ratings fell off a cliff, down 36% from the 3.44 million viewers who tuned in last year when Clark took the court. That's not just a dip. That's a collapse. And ticket prices? They tanked. What once cost $121 on resale sites dropped to just $64, a 48% nosedive. The moment Clark's name was pulled from the lineup, the buzz disappeared. The cameras still rolled. The ad still ran. But the atmosphere had shifted. Without Clark, the city didn't feel like a battleground.
Bang! We show up and show out for our rebounding queen. Yes! Bang. I love rebounds. Yes!
Hey, Jimmy, did you see that last rebound? It was so sick.
Yes, she did it again. Rebound!
It felt empty. And that emptiness, it swallowed the very thing Angel Reese was banking on. The moment her brand was supposed to explode. While Caitlin Clark sat sidelined, Angel Reese pushed full steam ahead. This was her moment, or so it was meant to be. The Angel Reese one sneaker dropped in two flashy colorways, Diamond Dust and Me Bounds. Reebok went all in, flooding Indianapolis with ads, rolling out pop-up events, influencer partnerships, flashy video reels. The whole machine fired at once. Reese posted boldly, "Walk in your trap. Take over your trap." It was marketed like a hostile takeover, a dethroning. But without Clark to share the court, there was no real tension, no real rival to conquer. Just the awkward feeling of someone trying to celebrate a victory that hadn't happened.
Or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch of it.
Even Reebok's own branding made it obvious what they were banking on. In the Netflix docuseries Power Moves, cameras caught Shaquille O'Neal, one of Reebok's top executives, saying Angel needed to be in full Reebok gear, especially when she's facing Caitlin Clark. Translation: the entire strategy hinged on Clark's presence. Her absence turned the launch from bold to hollow. And the worst part? The people watching at home could feel it, because no matter how slick the ads looked, fans knew exactly what this really was: a borrowed spotlight that burned out fast. Angel Reese didn't try to build her moment from scratch. She built it around someone else. The entire All-Star Weekend campaign leaned on one fragile idea: that simply being near Caitlin Clark would be enough to elevate her. The launch, the timing, the "I'm in your city" message, all of it was built on the belief that standing in Clark's shadow could somehow cast a spotlight of its own.
No! What everyone's paid to see, the Angel Reese rebound! Bang! Kelsey Plum makes the shot, she'll get more money.
But here's the truth. You can't manufacture star power through proximity. Clark's brand wasn't built by accident. It was earned. Her shoes sold out in under 60 seconds. Her games shatter ratings. Nike gave her an 8-year, $28 million deal for a reason. Fans believe in her. She's authentic. She's consistent. And when she steps on the court, the energy shifts. Reese, meanwhile, tried to skip the build and cash in early. She assumed she could mirror Clark's moment just by launching her own. But without Clark on the court, the illusion crumbled. And even behind the scenes, Reebok seemed to understand the gamble. They didn't pitch Reese as a standalone star. They positioned her as Clark's rival. The problem? A rivalry only works when both sides are carrying equal weight. And when fans showed up, or didn't, their reaction said it all. This wasn't a battle. It was a one-sided bet that fell flat. If Angel Reese expected a hero's welcome, she got something far quieter: indifference. Despite the flashy ads, social campaigns, and slick launch videos, the turnout told a different story. At pop-up events across Indianapolis, social media lit up with brutal honesty. One post read, "More photographers than fans at this launch, LOL."
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even,
Another joked, "She can't even sell a shoe without clinging to Caitlin Clark's name." Whether fair or not, the public wasn't buying the hype, literally or figuratively. And when it came time for the actual game, the arena wasn't buzzing with excitement. It felt muted, like everyone knew the main act wasn't showing up. The billboard war fell flat, without someone to respond. The Instagram reels? Reposted, yes, but rarely praised. Even the fans who wanted to root for Reese felt confused. Was this about her game, or just her marketing? The message wasn't clear, and worse, it wasn't earned. You can't declare dominance in someone else's city if no one believes you ever owned the crown to begin with.
But the WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. FAFO. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events.
And while the crowd stayed quiet, the numbers started screaming, because what happened next made it painfully clear just how much this weekend depended on one name only. At a glance, the WNBA tried to spin the weekend as a win. League reps pointed out that 2025's 2.19 million All-Star viewers still nearly tripled the numbers from 2023, which pulled just 850,000. Sounds impressive, until you remember the benchmark everyone actually cared about. 2024's All-Star Game featuring Caitlin Clark, which drew a staggering 3.44 million. That's a 36% drop in just 1 year. Behind closed doors, media insiders hinted that the league scrambled to find the upside.
Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment, and that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint.
But there was no masking the truth. The moment Clark was ruled out, the needles stopped moving. Even Friday's skills challenge and three-point contest, typically smaller showcases, outperformed expectations, pulling in 1.32 million viewers, nearly doubling previous years. But let's be real, those weren't Angel Reese fans tuning in. That was the Clark aftershock. Fans hoping for a glimpse, a courtside moment, something connected to the one star they truly came to see. And the sneaker sales? Quiet. Reebok hasn't released official numbers, and that silence speaks volumes. For a launch timed with maximum exposure, the buzz was barely a whisper. No sellouts, no resale frenzy, just a flashy rollout met with crossed arms and sideways glances. And as the campaign fizzled, a deeper question started rising, not just about Reese, but about the league itself. What happens when your entire product leans too heavily on a single player? Angel Reese's failed takeover didn't just expose flaws in a marketing campaign.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too.
It revealed a truth the WNBA can no longer ignore. This league lives and dies by its stars. The pay us what you owe us movement from WNBA players has been loud and clear, and rightfully so. Visibility is rising, viewership is climbing, and the talent pool is deeper than ever. But all of that hinges on something fragile. A handful of players who can draw mainstream attention on their own. And right now, Caitlin Clark isn't just one of them. She's the one. When Clark plays, midweek games in mid-market cities become must-see events. Her jersey sales soar. Her clips dominate social media. She doesn't just elevate her team. She elevates the entire sport. That's not marketing. That's magnetism. Angel Reese, meanwhile, was handed a rare opportunity. Center stage at All-Star Weekend. A shoe launch. A city drenched in attention. And she still couldn't spark excitement. Why? Because you can't shortcut trust. Clark's connection with fans was earned through clutch performances, raw emotion, and relentless work ethic.
Angel Reese All-Star Weekend edition! How about it? Let's get it! Hey, you know what they say? 4 is more. Bang!
Reese's campaign felt engineered, loud but hollow, strategic but impersonal, and in a league still fighting for every ounce of national attention. The difference between authentic connection and forced branding couldn't be clearer. So as the weekend wrapped and the lights dimmed, one thing became impossible to deny. Star power isn't something you can copy. It's something you build. Angel Reese walked into All-Star Weekend with the full force of a brand behind her. But no matter how many billboards went up or shoes hit shelves, she couldn't fake what Caitlin Clark had already built. The truth is, star power doesn't come from slogans. It comes from showing up, game after game, and giving fans something real to believe in. Reese tried to claim a crown in a city that wasn't hers, during a weekend that wasn't about her, with a campaign built around someone who wasn't even playing. And when the numbers came in, the ratings dropped, the ticket crash, the silence around her sneaker launch, the message was loud and clear. You can't hijack a legacy. You have to earn one. Clark didn't need to say a word. She didn't post a clapback. She didn't need to defend her turf. Her absence did all the talking. And for the WNBA, the lesson is unavoidable. You can market all you want, but when the real star isn't in the frame, fans feel it. Angel Reese may still find her own path. But if this weekend proved anything, it's that you can't shortcut your way to the top by standing next to someone already there.
The WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly. Who is this?
The spotlight doesn't shine because you walk into it. It shines because people want to watch you. And right now, that spotlight belongs to Caitlin Clark. Drop a comment below, baby goat or baby giraffe. If you're riding with CC, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. The next chapter is coming fast, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. For all the hype about a rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, the numbers and the vibe tell a different story. Sure, there was that viral moment during the 2023 NCAA Championship, but after that, it's been one-sided. Clark kept climbing, smashing viewership records, dominating headlines, and securing a Nike bag worth $28 million. Meanwhile, Reese has spent more time referencing Clark than actually matching her on the court. Let's be real. A rivalry requires two forces, each capable of standing tall on their own. But it's felt like one player building a brand off another's reputation. Fans aren't blind. They know when someone's throwing shade to stir attention, not competition. And while the me versus her narrative might boost clicks, it can't cover up the real stat line. Let's talk game. Reese is known for her rebounding, no argument there. But critics have pointed out how often those boards come off her own missed shots. That's not hustle, that's stat padding. Her shooting efficiency has lagged. Her defensive matchups often fall short. And in high-stakes games, she's struggled to take over the way true stars do. Meanwhile, Clark? She's dropping 30-foot bombs, dishing out double-digit assists, and still pulling crowds whether her team wins or loses. There's a difference between being talked about and being unmissable. One is branding, the other is game. And yet, Reebok's marketing didn't focus on performance. It focused on presence, and that's where things really fell apart. Somehow, the Angel Reese one ended up priced at $1,000. Yes, $1,000 on reseller sites. For a player who hasn't yet proven herself as a generational force, that number raised a lot of eyebrows. While Nike sold out Caitlin Clark's Cobes in under a minute at $190 retail, Reese's launch felt tone-deaf and wildly out of touch with her current reach. Worse, it created a narrative that the price tag was inflated because of who she was trying to be, not who she already was. That matters in sports culture. People don't invest in hype, they invest in greatness. And a four-figure sneaker? That's a statement only legends can justify. But even with the wrong price, the louder message came from fans, or more specifically, their silence. If there's one thing this entire situation proves, it's that perception can build or break a brand. Reese came in loud, confident, brash, and in a vacuum, that's not a bad thing. The WNBA needs personalities. But when confidence turns into entitlement, when showmanship isn't backed by substance, fans disengage fast. On TikTok, X, Instagram, the comments piled up. Some rooted for her, sure, but many others clowned the campaign, mocked the attendance, and memed the rollout into oblivion. The optics weren't just bad, they became the story. And once that happens, it's almost impossible to take the narrative back. And Reese didn't help herself with how she reacted after the fact. After the dust settled, Reese posted on social media, "This was the most fun I've had in a while because of the players." All caps. That one word felt like a subtle jab. Maybe at fans, maybe at critics, maybe at Clark's absence. But either way, it missed the moment. Rather than show grace, reflect, or even pivot the conversation, the message came off as passive-aggressive. It fed into the very criticism she was trying to escape. That this weekend wasn't about celebrating the game. It was about trying to steal someone else's shine. And that's the difference between stars who draw fans in and those who push them away.